why I like this guy right here. He's tenacious. If you really, really love music, regardless of what you do in music, if you love it enough and it's a big enough part of your life and you have a passion for it, you need to show that passion. Go for it. That's all I can say.
I never refuse a gig, you guys. I don't care if I make a choice to play rather than not play. Because in any given gig, and it could be just in somebody's living room, $15, $7, I mean.
Yeah.
So, hey.
So do you do kids' birthday parties?
Oh,
No. We have a balloonist that'll come.
no, you know, listen, it's not a joke. At my kid's birthday party, right?
Yeah.
What's his name from Chicago? Keyboard player from Chicago.
Oh, don't ask me.
Champlin, Bill. So his kid goes to school with my kid. So Bill comes over, and I get a gig, go do session with Bill. So
There you go.
here you go.
Never know.
Now I'll shut up after this, but I want to tell you something else. I think this is
No,
an
you
important. It's an important point, okay? Because we're talking about getting a gig. There's another level of thinking, at least my belief. How I got the gig with Buddy Miles, right? And another guy. I played with another idol of mine, keyboard player Brian Auger. I don't know if you guys know Brian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trinity.
But let me tell you what I really got a gig with Buddy Miles. It was like this. This is my personal belief. I was a kid in Italy, in a small village next to Rome. This little village that you see on TV that they bring, you know, the vegetables down with the donkeys in the weekend. That's where I'm coming from. So how do you make that connect? How do I go from there to go play with Buddy, man? Right? This is how I got there. I remember doing this. I had a little tape machine, and I would tape this only rock and roll station, Radio Luxembourg. I don't know if these guys from Germany.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I remember taping music from this thing, and I had the Buddy Miles album and a Brian Auger with Julie Driscoll album. And this is what I would do. I would close myself in a room, shut the lights. I learned every single note, every single song from these guys, man. I would close my eyes and imagine myself one fucking day I'm gonna be on the stage with these dudes. And however that turned out to be, I ended up playing with Buddy and with Brian. So it's
Awesome.
a metaphysical explanation to that gig.
Amazing.
And it's true, that's what I did do.
Yeah.
So believe in it, man.
Steve, I'm curious, what path did you take to, become, besides being a great player, you're really respected as a teacher, and you're one of the great teachers out there right now. So I want to know, how did you just decided to go to MI because you were playing where? You were from where?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. I've been there, Piscataway, Amp Show, East Coast.
I'm from a town called Asbury Park. I'm the guitar player from Asbury Park that's not famous. So I came out to the Musicians Institute to go to school there. Actually, I just decided I wanted to get out of my band in New Jersey. Played thousands and thousands of gigs, and well, we all have. So what I learned is this. What I do now is whenever somebody asks me to say something, just say yes. Just say yes. Make a decision to play, like what these guys are all saying. Just make a decision to play. I'm like all these guys up here. It sounds like very few of us have ever filled out an application. It's all through just getting to know people, and friends through friends through friends through friends. So what I learned from that is there is no such thing as being in the right place at the right time. There's only being in a lot of different places at a lot of different times, which I found, I didn't come out here from New Jersey to sit in my apartment and drink beer. So I was out sitting in with somebody every night. Finally, after about a week, I was in a band and played in that band for 2 years, and another band, then recording, blah, 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 blah. The other thing I learned is this, that you need to have your equipment together. I'm probably preaching to the choir on a lot of you guys, because people know that, but you'd be surprised how many people show up, their gear isn't together, they don't know how to work their pedals or gear, they don't know how to read anything, and and then they say, well, give me the gig. And you have to be I mean, as I say, opportunity meets preparedness is luck. And the other thing I learned, which is actually beneficial for all of us, I'm assuming that, you know, I know all of you are under 30, but, and so if you are under 30, I know I'm preaching to the choir. If you are, you know, 31 or something, what I've found by now is that the paradigm in the music business has changed. It's no longer about going out, getting a gig. I mean, unless you're very, very fortunate, 1% of the guys, like some of these guys here, and getting a gig with somebody big star and then going out and doing that. What I found is it's no longer even about getting a record deal. What's a record company?
Still any?
Yeah, exactly.
What's a record?
So what I found is that the paradigm in the music business has changed so that now it's more about people having Pro Tools or some kind of recording software on their computer, people writing their own songs, people recording their own CDs at home with their Pro Tools, putting up Facebook and putting up a website, marketing through networking through Facebook and your website and whatnot, and selling your own products that way. That's what I found. And I think it's beneficial for all of us because, you know, that way there's not the 1% of the top 1% that get to do records with big people or CDs or DVDs or whatever we do now. So that's what I found. So I've really explored that market, and the publicist I have does a lot of that for me. And I think that if you don't know about that, you should probably get a hold of someone. You know, it's hard to learn about it ourselves. It's way over my head as far as learning about it. But if you talk to anybody that's 19, they'll show you all about it, all about it. And you know, that's I only say that to give us all hope because you know, like I say, there's opportunities out there for all of us now. And have a great time and be on time.
Be professional.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll stop there.
You know,
Yeah, there's two
Always
things
carry
said.
Be professional.
an extra set of strings.
The
Be in tune.
one thing with the gear, you know, it's not just about having the gear together, it's knowing what to do with the gear. Because how many guitar players do we all know that switch their amps on a bi-weekly basis because it just doesn't sound right? The next amp is going to sound wrong again if you don't know what to do with it. You know, if you don't know how to move your right end further to the neck to make it sound less bright instead of grabbing the treble knob, you're going to keep switching amps. And, you know, I mean, having decent gear, I'm the first that's for it, but you know, if you don't spend some quality time so you know how to actually send an amp, so you know what the amp sounds like, or you know, what's like a basic setting, it's all over. And the other thing that you were saying about the recording thing, you know, nowadays with FTP servers and everything, and websites like eSessions where you can hire, you know, people with major label credits all day long. You know, it had, even though you don't make money with recordings anymore like you used to, you still can make money with recording. You just, you know, record for some math teacher in Spokane, Washington that wants a guitar player, you know. But the money is still there. And you know, that's like every gig I've ever gotten was the phone rang because somebody recommended me for it or somebody already knew me.
Well, that's the thing with technology too. You have a studio in your house. I just got 3 songs from a guy in Germany just to play guitar on. And then I do it at home. I send him the files. He sends me a check. And that happens so often now. And if you got that at home, you know, you can track in your underwear.
Yeah, I used to
Actually, I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm working until I put pants on. That's actually true. But it's amazing that you can do that. I did that last year with a company in Atlanta. They kept just sending me songs. They had a whole bunch of different artists, and they just kept sending me songs and songs. And at one point, they just sent me a hard drive because it was too much material to keep sending me over the internet. So they sent me a hard drive. I worked on the hard drive. I sent the hard drive back, and they sent me the check. And
Wow.
you know, that's a great way to make money too.
You know, it used to be that they wanted to be in the room with you when you were recording, but you know, with stuff like I'm getting back to that one website that's called eSessions. They have a plugin that's called, I think, Virtual Glass, where you actually have a video interface, like a control room interface, so they can look over your shoulder while you're recording their parts, which kind of, that kind of weirds me out. It's like,
It's a pain.
how much bandwidth do I actually have here?
Yeah, it's funny because like Tim Bogart said somebody sent him a track to do disco lit. You gotta check. Tim
Check some
Bogart,
nice
the
shit.
great Tim Bogart. He's like, yeah, I play disco. I don't give a crap. Check's a check.